Things I used to find more satisfying than sex. Peeling dried glue off my fingers. The sound of dirt being sucked up by a vacuum. Claymation Christmas movies. A good night's sleep. A great BM. Any dessert. Sneezing. Dr. Pimple Popper. Drinking tea. And that head scratcher thing that goes like this. I could go on, but my point is that most of the sex I had in my 20s was completely underwhelming and forgettable. And that is mostly because my vagina was numb. I did not realize this until I was almost 30, but when I did, I was like, oh, maybe I should do something about that. Because when I did have sex, all I felt was a little bit of pressure and the desire to be done so that I could check it off my list and feel like I had fulfilled my role as a good girlfriend. When I realized my vagina was numb, though, my first thought was maybe I'm just one of those women who doesn't feel that much pleasure from vaginal sex. But then I learned that that's not even true. That's not even a thing. We are all built with the anatomy to experience really deep, fulfilling pleasure from all sorts of sex. So then why wasn't I? My name is Kendra. I'm a Vita certified sex coach with a background in therapy, specialized in female pleasure, and the most revolutionary piece of information that I learned on my own sexual journey was this. Our beliefs about sex and sexuality, especially our inherited beliefs about sex and sexuality, manifest in our bodies in a physical way. They create holding patterns in our muscles and tissues that can prevent us from feeling pleasure and accessing arousal. There was one study done that showed that negative sexual messaging imprints on the body in the same way as a physical sexual assault. So our body's response during sex is only in part a response to what is actually physically happening. It is much more largely a response to what we have been taught about what sex is, how we are supposed to be during sex, and what it means to be engaging in sex. And for female bodies in particular, a lot of that is not very good. Don't have sex, you'll get pregnant. You'll get an STI. Good girls don't. That's all boys want. It is good to be wanted. But don't give them what they want because then you're a slut. Girls just aren't as sexual as boys, but you better want it as often as he wants it or else he will cheat on you. Sex hurts. You're gonna bleed. Sex is dangerous. Sex is special. But every time you have it, you lose value. It is no wonder that we are also confused and blocked around sex because we get so many contradicting messages and very unhelpful messages. And so your body often gets the message that sex is dangerous, or sex is not wanted, or sex will bring shame upon you and the whole family. So just shut it down. But then you grow up and you become a consenting adult and all of a sudden you're like, I would like to engage in this thing that's supposed to bring a lot of pleasure and joy into my life. But your vagina is not on board because it's like, no, that's bad. We learned it's bad, remember? And as much as you want to, you can't outthink your conditioning. Your body responds faster than your logical thinking brain. And if your subconscious believes that sex is dangerous or shameful, it will literally armor your body against it, blocking your access to pleasure and arousal. And it most often does this by creating numbness or pain. So if you are struggling with low libido, lack of desire, numb or painful sex, anxiety related to sex and sexual performance, you feel like your vagina is broken, it's not, don't worry. She just might be asleep. Or you're just having sexual experiences that are no more satisfying than letting out a fart that you've been holding in for 15 minutes. Then you've probably got some conditioning that is showing up in your pelvis and blocking your ability to experience really deeply vibrant and fulfilling sex. And the good news is rewriting these patterns is incredibly achievable, but it has to happen from the bottom up. And by that I mean we go in with body-based therapies that address these subconscious holding patterns. Liberating those holding patterns can activate your libido, your arousal, your desire, and allow you to have truly satisfying sex by yourself and with a partner. When that happens, we call it the embodiment of your bodacious babe energy. And I coach women how to awaken and embody that every single day. Leave a comment below or DM me on Instagram if any of this resonates. I would love to hear from you. But just know that if what you want to be wanting in bed is different than what you are physically and emotionally experiencing during sex, then you are not alone, and there are things that you can do to change that and bring your body and mind back into alignment. Subscribe or follow to learn more. I'm going to be dropping tons of tips and tricks on how you can awaken your bodacious babe energy with simple body-based practices.